President Trump's Treasury Department is shifting the sanctions program to punish his critics and reward his friends. That's what former ambassadors and State Department officials told NPR.
It's in system with rewarding loyalists and punishing those who are perceived to be opponents or independent.
When the Treasury Department sanctions someone, they're blocked from doing business with U.S. companies and banks, and they typically can't enter the U.S. People can be sanctioned because of their ties to drug trafficking, corruption, terrorism, and other similar threats. I talked to Jack Lew. He was the Secretary of the Treasury under Obama. He told me the agency would never sanction someone unless the evidence against them was, quote, irreproachable. But last year, the Treasury sanctioned more than a dozen judges, prosecutors, and human rights officials. They had all called Israel out for war crimes or made legal decisions that didn't favor Trump's political friends. And then there were the people taken off the list. Back in January 2025, the Treasury Department under Biden sanctioned a top Hungarian politician, Antal Rogan. The Treasury said the agency did that because of his, quote, involvement in corruption in Hungary. But after Trump took office, the Treasury Department lifted those sanctions. David Pressman was the U.S. ambassador to Hungary under Biden. He told NPR he thought that happened because of Trump's loyalty to Rogan's boss, Hungary's prime minister.
Prime Minister Orban of Hungary, who has my complete and total endorsement for election.
Here's another example. Back in 2023, the Treasury sanctioned the former president of Paraguay, Horacio Cartes, because of his ties to Hezbollah and his political corruption. But last year, the Treasury removed his sanctions. Mark Ostfeld was the U.S. ambassador to Paraguay under Biden.
The U.S. says that links to Hezbollah are a grave concern of this current administration, so it's really hard to understand why the U.S. would lift sanctions on Cartes, given that the U.S. designation of Cartes in 2022 as significantly corrupt, all of which undermines the security of the U.S. against transnational crime and terrorism and threatens regional stability.
The Treasury Department can remove people's sanctions if they improve their behavior. The ambassadors said that's not what happened here. Asked for comment, a Treasury spokesperson provided a statement to NPR that characterized Trump's actions as unprecedented. They also highlighted his efforts to terminate the Syria sanctions program and designate drug cartels as terrorist organizations. But ambassadors NPR spoke with said treating friends and critics differently wasn't in America's best interest.